I got the pillows for my knees. My knees are the big issue. That's right. So
yeah. So do you have blankets to put under them then?
well, these.
Oh yeah, that'll feel good. Yeah.
Oh,
You'll
the
probably
mic is
need
probably
it.
answering me.
It's all good, George. We know they're not joining
No,
us.
sorry. Next time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start today's class in Shavasana. And as you make your way into Shavasana, just allowing your body to begin to melt into your mats. And taking a deep breath in. And exhale it all out. Take another deep breath in. Exhale it all out. Letting your body melt a little bit more into your mats. And with every inhale and exhale, allowing your body to begin to settle. Letting your mind begin to calm. Taking this opportunity this evening to check in with yourself and notice how you're feeling. Notice how your body's feeling. Taking a few moments to scan from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Notice if there's any areas where you might be feeling a little bit sore. Any areas that might be a little bit tight or a little bit stiff. Sending your next few breaths to those areas, letting your breath bring softness to anything that might be tight or stiff. Letting your breath bring relief to anything that might be sore. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Notice if there's any areas where you might be holding tension. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath dissolve any tension. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. Letting your body melt a little bit more into your mat. Take a few moments this evening to set an intention for your practice. something you wish to receive from your class. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. And on your next inhale, slowly draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then opening your arms up into a T and letting your knees gently fall to your right side, coming into your twist. Keeping your left shoulder blade pressed into your mats. You can keep your eyes up looking to the ceiling, or maybe you look over your left shoulder. Adjusting your knees, whether you draw them closer to your chest or you soften your knee bend. And breathing into any sensation that you're feeling on this side. Letting your breath bring softness to those areas. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Keeping your inhales nice and deep. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. We've got a few more breaths here. With every exhale, allowing your body to settle a little bit more into the twist. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On your next inhale, slowly draw your knees back up to center. As you gently let your knees fall to your left side, keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into your mats. And your eyes could be looking up, or maybe you look over your right shoulder. You could always adjust your knees by drawing them closer to your body or drawing them away. And breathing into any sensation that you feel on this side. Letting your breath bring ease to those areas. Letting your body find a little bit more rest in the twist. A few more breaths here. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. On your next inhale, slowly draw your knees back up to center. As we open up to happy baby, grab the outside of your feet, open your knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit of forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. And on drawing your knees back into your chest on your next inhale and letting them sway from the left to the right. Gently letting your knees fall to your left side or to your right side, coming into fetal position. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. On your next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up and making your way to a seated position. We'll come into half butterfly. So straighten your right leg in front of you and draw the soles of your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Trying to stay on both sit bones. Inhale, reach your hands up. Slightly turn to your right as you begin to fold over your right leg. On your next inhale, can you draw up your upper body just a little bit? Exhale, can you fold a little bit deeper? So if the back of your leg is tight, you can always have a slight bend in the knee, which will bring ease to those sensations. Might also help with your lower spine if it's tight. Try to allow your shoulders to soften. Remove any tension from your neck. And with every exhale, allowing your upper body maybe to draw a little bit closer to your leg. And maybe if your knee is bent as we hold this posture, it begins to straighten out. Maybe you feel a little bit in your left hip. Just breathing into those sensations. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, can you fold a little bit deeper? Drawing the intensity to the back of the leg, maybe a little bit to that left hip. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. As you draw your left hand behind you and you reach your right hand forward, we're going to add some movement to this. So we did this 2 weeks ago. So inhale, draw up your hips as you reach your right hand back. Exhale, slowly lower. 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slowly lower. Last one. Inhale, reach up. And let's hold here. Exhale. Inhale, can you reach a little bit further? Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Very nice. Release your left leg. Give it a little bit of a shake. As you draw the soles of our feet onto our mat, we'll just windshield wiper them once to the right. Come back to center, drop them to the left. And then straightening your left leg out in front of you, and then taking the inside of your right foot and draw it to the inside of your left thigh. Reach both hands up. Slightly turn to the left as you begin to fold over your left leg. And maybe you grab onto your shin, maybe you grab onto your foot, maybe you can grab onto your ankle. Drop your chest on the next inhale. Exhale, can you fold a little bit deeper? And take awareness how the back of your leg is feeling. Do you need to have a slight bend in your knee? Do you feel a little bit in your low back? And then maybe bend that left knee again, just to help bring a little bit of release to your low spine if it's tight. Trying to remove any tension from your shoulders. Any tension from your neck. And with every exhale, allowing your upper body to draw a little bit closer to your leg. And notice how this side feels. It's a little bit tighter. It's a little bit more limber. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, can you fold a little bit deeper? Got a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On the next inhale, slowly begin to walk your hands up as you release your foot. And taking your right hand behind you and reaching your left hand forward. On the next inhale, send those hips up as you reach that left hand back. Exhale, slowly lower down. Two more, inhale, reach. Exhale, slowly lower down. Last one, hold and reach on that inhale. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, can you reach back a little bit further? Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Very nice. Release your right leg. Give that a little bit of a shake. Draw the soles of your feet onto your mat. Gently windshield wiper to the right. Come back to center. Let them fall to the left. Coming back to center. Then reaching your straight out in front of you. We'll come into a nice forward fold. And so for this one, we're going to keep our toes up. And then halfway through, I'm going to let you guys, and we're going to point our toes. So sitting on both top of your sit bones, inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, slowly begin to fold over your legs. And so maybe you grab onto your shins, maybe you have your ankles, or maybe you grab onto your feet. And then again, notice how the back of your legs feel. Maybe you have a slight bend in the knee. Maybe you slide a cushion underneath or a block. Allow your shoulders to soften. Removing any tension from your neck. Keeping nice deep inhales. And your exhales, trying to draw your upper body closer to your legs. Take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, point the toes. And maybe you grab onto your ankles, or maybe you can still grab onto your feet as the toes are pointed. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, can you fold a little bit deeper? Allow your shoulders to soften. And if your knees are slightly bent, maybe you begin to straighten them, adding more tension. Got a couple more breaths here. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly begin to walk our hands up. As we draw the soles of our feet back onto the mat, and just let your knees windshield wiper to the right. Come back to center. Let them fall to the left. Picking them back up and then drop them to your right and then coming into all fours. So coming into all fours. So we could set up for downward facing dog. So planting your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, curling those toes under. And on the next inhale, send your knees up and then your hips back. Take a couple breaths here to pedal out your feet. Move your hips from side to side. Eventually finding stillness for one full breath in. One full breath out. On the next inhale, float your left leg high to the sky. Then step your left leg through your hands. And release your right knee down onto your mat and release your toes. So you can always slide a cushion underneath your mat, or maybe you curl your mat underneath your knee, just to give a little bit of support. We're going to come into dragon pose, everyone's favorite. So from here, we're going to keep our foot underneath our shoulder for the first bit. Reach your hands up. And exhale, allow your body to settle. So inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, can you allow your right hip to settle a little bit more? And you can allow your hands to rest on your knee. We'll just take a few breaths here. Breathing into the sensations that you're feeling maybe in your right hip flexor. Maybe you feel a little bit more in your left hip. Take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. And on the next inhale, circle your hands up to the sky. As you clasp your third, fourth, and fifth finger together, reach your hands up. And maybe you begin to back bend. So just a little bit. Draw more sensation. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Take 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Slowly draw your hands back up. And from here, coming into dragon pose. So maybe, or lizard, as some people know it, you come down into the palms of your hands. And maybe your knee under, your foot and knee being in alignment with your shoulder feels good. Or maybe you walk it and open it up to the edge of your mat. So that you can make your way onto your forearms. And if you can't make it onto your forearms, always slide a block or a cushion to add a little bit of support. And maybe this evening, just being on the palms of your hands is enough. And that's okay too. Just breathing into the sensations. Notice how your right hip is feeling. Notice how your left hip is feeling. This one's the big hold tonight. Notice your breath. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, can you maybe, if you're on your hands, maybe you walk your fingertips out a little bit further. If you're on your forearms, maybe you draw your forearms a little bit forward. Or maybe you're just feeling super limber and you're all the way down. Your forehead resting on the floor. Keep breathing in. And if your breath becomes shallow, maybe it's because you're pushing yourself a little bit too far. So maybe you ease up. And maybe as you go lower, you feel it in a different area. And on the next inhale, slowly begin to come back onto the palms of your hands. Whew. Walk that foot, walk your left foot back under your shoulder. And then from here, you're going to take your hands and you're going to walk them out into a 45-degree angle. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, can you push back? So as you reach your fingertips forward, you're trying to send that left hip open a little bit. We're just here for a couple breaths. So take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. 2 more. Take 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Very nice. Slowly begin to walk your hands back in. And from here, take that left foot and draw it back to your right knee. Whew. And then from here, kick your feet to one side or another, coming into a seated position. And we're going to lower all the way down into Shavasana. Just because that was a really big stretch. And as you make your way into Shavasana, just allowing your hips to settle. Allow your palms to face up. Taking this opportunity to find rest. And letting your hips begin to relax. Or wherever you felt tension, allow your body to soften with every exhale. We'll take a few more breaths here. Letting your body release a little bit more. Take 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. On the next inhale, slowly draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. And then letting your knees sway from the right to the left. Gently letting your knees fall to the right side or to the left side. Just coming to fetal position. Just for a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up. And making your way back to tabletop position so we can set up for the other leg. So planting your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Curling your toes under. On your next inhale, press your knees up and your hips back. Take a few moments to pedal out the feet. Move your hips from side to side. Eventually finding stillness for 1 full breath in. 1 full breath out. On the next inhale, float your right leg high to the sky. Then step your right foot through your hands. Release your left knee onto your mats. And release your left toes. And then again, you can always curl your mat under to add support underneath the knee. But on the next inhale, reach your hands up. And exhale, let that left hip settle. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, can you allow your left hip to settle a little bit more? You can draw your hands to your knees. Just allow the hips to settle. On the next inhale, circle your hands both to the sky. As you clasp your third, fourth, and fifth finger, inhale, reach your hands up. And exhale, slowly begin to back bend. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Take 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Slowly on the next inhale, reach your hands up. And exhale as you draw your hands to your mats. So maybe you keep your foot underneath your shoulder, or maybe the side's a little bit tight and you have to walk your right foot out to the edge of the mats. Open your hip up. And then from here, either you stay on the palms of your hands, or maybe you come down onto your forearms, or maybe you slide a cushion underneath to add a little bit of support or a little bit of height. Maybe you stay onto the palms of your hands. And notice the sensations you're feeling on this side. Do you feel it in the same places, or is it a little bit more tighter, maybe in the right side or in the left hip flexor? Keeping your breath nice and deep. Allow your right hip to soften. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, can you walk maybe your fingertips out a little bit further? Or if not, you're on your hands, maybe you come a little bit lower down onto your forearms. Maybe you've reached your maximum tonight and you stay where you're at. Got a few more breaths here. Very nice. On the next inhale, if you're on your forearms coming onto your hands. And then from here, walk your right foot, if it's out, back to underneath your shoulder. And then from here, begin to walk your hands out to a 45-degree angle. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, begin to send that right hip back a little bit. And maybe you walk your hands a little bit further forward. Got a few more breaths here. Take 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Very nice. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. And as you take your right leg back to your left, then kick your feet to one side or another, coming into a seated position. And then lower all the way down onto your back, coming into Shavasana. Allow your body to melt into your mats. Allow your palms to face up. Breathing into your hips. Allowing them to settle and to release. Take a few more breaths here. Allowing your hips to relax a little bit more. Take a couple more breaths. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On the next inhale, slowly draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then let your knees sway from the left to the right, gently letting your knees fall to your left side or to your right side, coming into fetal position. And take a deep breath in here. Exhale it all out. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On the next inhale, slowly begin to press into your right hand as you make your way back up to tabletop position. So from here, we're going to come into puppy pose. So keeping your hips on top of your knees, you're going to walk your hands out. And so maybe you come onto your forearms. Maybe you walk your hands out a little bit further. So feeling the sensation in your shoulders and your upper back. You can allow your forehead to rest on the mat, or maybe you try to draw your chin onto your mat. Sometimes if you want to go a little bit deeper, I was explaining this a couple weeks ago, you can add 2 blocks and you can put the blocks underneath your hands and just allow your body to draw a little bit more sensation to your shoulders. Breathing into your shoulders, to any sensation that you're feeling. You may feel it in your low spine. Keeping your breath nice and deep. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips maybe out a little bit further? Feeling the stretch a little bit more in your shoulders. We have a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly begin to walk your hands up as you release out. And then from here, your option is to come into closed knee child's pose, or maybe you come into wide knee child's pose, whatever feels comfortable. Draw your big toes together if you're in wide knee child's pose, or keep your Feet together and draw, sitting back on your feet. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your hips to settle. You can always keep your hands in front of you, or maybe you draw them to your feet. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, can you allow your hips to settle a little bit more? Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. And if you're in wide knee child's pose, draw your knees together. Kick your feet to one side or another, coming into a seated position. And then lowering all the way down onto your back. And make sure that you have your block handy or your cushion. We'll come into a nice supported bridge, so draw your heels as close to your glutes as possible. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. On your next inhale, send your hips up high to the sky, then sliding that block underneath your tailbone. Or maybe you draw it up a little bit higher. But allow your hips to settle into the block. Allow your palms to face up. Allow your shoulders to soften. Removing any tension from your neck. Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. Notice if you're holding any tension in your glutes or in your hamstrings or your quadriceps. Allowing them to soften. Finding a little bit more rest in this posture. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. On your next inhale, send your hips up high to the sky. Releasing the block, slowly lowering your hips down onto your mats. Draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. And then from here, open your arms up into a T, then coming back into a twist. So dropping your knees to the right. And from here, you can keep your knees together. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can take your top leg. So take your left leg and see if you can take that ankle underneath your right knee. Just increasing the twist. Try to keep your left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. And from here, you can always adjust too. So you can always draw your feet further away from your body, like your knees away, and that'll draw a little bit less sensation. If you want more, just draw it closer up. Breathing into any sensation that you're feeling. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly begin to draw your knees back to center. And if your foot is underneath your right, draw the knees together, giving them a nice squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circle your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Opening your arms up into a T and letting your knees drop to your left side. And then you can keep your knees on top of each other, or you take that right foot and you kickstand it underneath your left knee. And you can stay there if that feels comfortable. Or you can always draw the knees away, which will lessen the sensation. Keeping your right shoulder blade into the mat. Breathing into any sensation that you're feeling. Take a couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly release your right foot. Drawing the knees together as you draw them back up to center. Giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then lowering your feet back down onto your mat. You grab your block. We're going to come into waterfall, so draw your knees into your chest as you shift your hips up. Sliding the block underneath your tailbone. Straightening both legs up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to face up. Allow your shoulders to soften. And if your mind wanders or drifts away, just drawing your attention back to your breath, back to your inhales and your exhales. Letting your body enjoy this restorative pose. Take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On the next inhale, slowly draw your knees into your chest as you shift your hips up, sliding your block out from underneath, drawing your knees into your chest, just giving them a nice squeeze. Open up to happy baby, grab the outside of your feet, open your knees nice and wide, gently rocking a little bit forward and backwards, a little bit of side to side. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, open up to Shavasana, legs as wide as your mats. Palms to face up. Letting your body melt into the mats. Taking this opportunity to let go. Letting your body find rest. Letting your mind find peace. Taking a few moments to scan over your body. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere. Allowing those areas to soften with your breath. Letting your body melt a little bit deeper into your mat. Finding a little bit more rest. Your mind to find a little bit more peace. Acknowledging any thoughts that might be rising up. Letting them continue to sail by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. Letting your body relax a little bit more. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently move your toes. Slowly waking up your body. Drawing your attention back to your room. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to reach your arms up and overhead. And as you grab one wrist, gently pull it to one side of the room, feeling the stretch in your side body. Releasing that wrist, grab your other wrist, gently pull it to your opposite side. Releasing that wrist, reach your hands to the very back of the room and your feet to the very front. On your next inhale, take a full body stretch. Breathe in. Exhale, let it all go. Slowly begin to draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then let your knees sway from the right to the left. Gently letting your knees fall to your right side or to your left side, coming into fetal position. Offering breaths of gratitude. Grateful for your practice this evening. Grateful that you showed up on your mat. Taking time to slow down and to connect with your body and with your breath. Take a few moments to reflect on the intention you set at the beginning of practice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. On the next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed and drawing your hands to heart center when you arrive. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it all go. On the next inhale, draw a gentle smile to your face. Exhale it all out. Take a few moments to thank your body for all the hard work it did today. I thank you and I'm very humbled and blessed by your practice. Namaste. Thank you very much, guys and gals.
Thank you.
It hurt. Oh, Mark.
Oh, George,
Good
I did
class,
it
though.
for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That class makes us feel old.
Oh my gosh, the half butterfly. I mean, dragon is like my least favorite pose.
Oh,
Really?
You can feel.
Yeah, you can feel everything stretching in there. It's so good.
Oh, I know. Like, the feeling of the
For
last-
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah,
All
it's
the way-
all good, but ugh.
Yeah.
It was like, where have you been hiding this pose all of our
Oh,
lives?
that twist one.
Yeah, that the
twist
half
with
dragon twist with the dragon with the 45.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
where have you
good,
been hiding
actually.
that pose?
Well, I have to like bring out some things every once in a while because you guys know all of my tricks of the trade.
And
No,
then
that's good.
the
That's what I'm talking
twist. No, the one we were lying down. And
Oh, yeah.
you're like,
Oh yeah.
the one with the leg. He's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, it's funny how one side, there's typically a difference between one side and the next. And,
For
yeah.
sure.
Mhm. So
And a lot of
good.
times it's just like an injury or it's just like just the way our body is, right? We always tend to like, it's like the same with like when we're writing, right? Like one arm tends to be stronger than the other or more like ambidextrous than the other. So it's like that same thing with our, like, that's why yoga tries to like to bring the balance, right? So you're trying to like get both the same.
Who's good?
It was very good. That was that was a challenging class, Mark.
Well, that's why I asked you. I said, do you guys want to go challenging? Because it was originally going to be
No, it's good.
pigeon to twisted deer was instead of dragon. So that
Yeah.
was, so when you said challenging, I was like, oh, okay, let's go dragon.
I appreciate that you do that because it would be very easy for us to just say, "Wah." Just go the other way. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I purposely started dragon on the left foot too, because that's my favorite leg.
Yeah, it's easier for, yeah, exactly. It's the right
Yeah.
side.
I don't know which one is easier for me. They're both incredibly painful.
Yeah, but it's so good on the hip flexor. Like it feels good on like that,
Yeah.
like the one side and then the hip, right? So it's like, yeah.
No, it's the Shavasana after, Mark.
Shavasana.
Yeah. And then even like leaning back too, right? Like you feel it like a lot. So I tried to like bring the different sensations so that we could all kind of like figure out where our bodies are.
Not in a happy place. Hey, Julie, I like the burpees.
Jewel,
Oh, thank you.
I gotta hand it to you, girl.
You could have put your parka on at least, no?
Yeah, they had that in like a few people on Instagram, like they were posting like their Slurpees, and just because, well, it's been a year and they've canceled another race, so like
Did they?
New York, or what was that one again? New Jersey Beast. So they changed that, so that's supposed to be October. So now we would have May is when the Canadian race. We wouldn't go to the U.S. races anyway because we can't cross the border, but the Canadian races are supposed to start May, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Friends of ours have a little, I don't know, it's By Me Creations or Creations or anyway, they do all sorts of things with their lettering and stuff. But one of the T-shirts that they've now just come up with, the logo says in large letters, it says Nope, N-O-P-E, and then underneath it says Not Today. When I saw you do those, I said, oh, I so wish I would have had the T-shirt because I would have taken a picture of my picture and posted it right back to you going, and no, Julie, not for me.
And it wasn't too bad that day because it was just -6 or so, but like today would have been, but still it was. But it was cool because I've always wanted to do like a polar dip or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I'll do it barefoot. No, it was like so cold. So I had my shoes on and I was surprised how cold, like when you first hit the snow, like.
We hear you. Yeah, like you catch your breath, right? At one point, and then like you're all the way down and you kept going. I thought, oh my gosh.
I was going to do 10 and then afterwards I'm just like, oh my God, get me inside. So I don't know how those people do it where they go like dunk in the water and then come out, right? Like,
yeah,
that's minus whatever, right? So
Marilyn would be proud, Julie.
Yeah, that's
Marilyn.
what George said.
Yes. Can you see this?
Yes. What's that?
Is that a polar dipper?
He's in Lake Michigan. He like
Yeah,
scooped out a hole in Lake Michigan. and he goes and he puts like a fire and then he sits in the freezing water.
No.
Wow.
Like you gotta ask why.
For how long?
Well, it's supposed to be really good for your body, right? Like, cause it like fires up like your healing process. So it's really
Yeah.
good to like heal.
But I'm not so sure it's great for your heart.
But the thing is that it's what it's all about is to see if you can keep your heart regulated and keep your
Ugh.
breath consistent. So that's the whole thing of like getting there. And it's like that deep breath, right? You like go in and out. So it's like, yeah.
But you know, I know about the what did you call it? The what did you call that when you go into the deep cold like that to heal your body? What is that? There's a CRY.
Cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy?
It's
Yeah,
what? Sorry?
CRYO. Cryotherapy.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise has a special bodysuit that adheres to all of this. So after he's done a major something, and he's getting older, of course, he puts this full body thing wherever he is. So because sometimes he can't go into water or anything, and that's what he puts on in between to heal his body, so he can go jump off the next plane.
And they have one of those. There's a booth too. I don't know if in Canada. I assume they do. I only see it like the athletes. They'll go in the U.S. and then they'll go into that
Oh yes.
minus. I don't know what it is. They go in. I don't know how long, and then they pop back out. And I guess it's really good for your muscles.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the bathtub full of ice, essentially.
Yeah. Some of the sports,
Yeah.
I
right?
didn't enjoy the ice bucket challenge either. Bar.
Yeah. It was cool. Oh, well, that was excellent. Thank you.
No worries. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6:30, or let us know, George, if we need to push it to 7. So,
Yeah, will do, Mark.
Yay.
all right. Have a good evening. See you guys
You
tomorrow.
too. Thanks, guys.
Wow.
See you, Julie. See you,
Bye.
Josh.
Bye.
Bye.